Hi, creatives. Welcome back to Weekly Affirmations for Creatives. It is week 31, and I'm Michelle Tracy Berger. I offer a weekly affirmation to help us practice useful, positive, uplifting self-talk. I want to talk about the role of mentors in our life because this week's affirmation is about mentors. And I want to say that no one gets through a creative life without having support. No one does this work alone. And I know personally, I would not be the writer I am today if I had not found literary community and also a very important mentor at a time in my life. And I'll just tell a brief story about that. So, this is a while ago now, a long time ago, but I was writing. I was going to writing conferences. I was, reading all the craft books, and I really wasn't getting anywhere in terms of moving forward with my work. I wasn't finishing things. And I like to say that metaphorically, I was in the basement, meaning that I would do all the things, read craft books, go to literary conferences, but I didn't have community. And no one really, I didn't have people that had my back, and I didn't have people that really were at the same level that I was at in terms of starting out. And I see this in a lot of beginning creative folks that they don't have community, they don't have mentors. And I think it's really hard also as we get older and we are not maybe meeting the goals that we have for ourselves creatively, we can get really discouraged. And I'm so lucky that I met my mentor around this time, someone who was a skilled writer, a published writer, who was also a skilled teacher. And I started taking workshops and really began to understand the power of community and the power of having a mentor. And so I want you to think about this week's affirmation. If you're someone who is looking for a mentor, this is a great affirmation to help you be ready to receive that mentor. And so, what do I mean by that? So, I think that we have to be receptive to what people can offer us. And mentors come in all different shapes, all different sizes, all different places in terms of the kinds of advice that they can give, all different life phases. And the kind of mentor you might need starting out might be a very different kind of mentor you need for gaining mastery in a specific area. So I want you to be thinking about not just mentors, but also community as I share with you this week's affirmation. Along the creative path, I always find encouragement and support from generous mentors. Along the creative path, I always find encouragement and support from generous mentors. Along the creative path, I always find encouragement and support from generous mentors. This is a great affirmation to work with, especially if you feel like you don't have that in your life. This is one I would say you want to double down on and do it as a 21-day, 40-day, or extended, because I do think sometimes we get into spaces where we just don't feel supported. And this is a great way to call in and really begin to look around, take some action, maybe differently. So we have to be ready to be mentored, right? So we have to show up in spaces that might be a little uncomfortable. We have to talk to people. We have to put our work out there. So we need to be taking action. And if you're someone that is struggling with that right now, or maybe you need to take more action, this affirmation can be really helpful and encouraging and something that you can rest into as that way is being made for you. And I said this last week, I'm going to say it again, is really helpful to read memoirs, read biographies, listen to podcasts of creative people on their path, because almost everyone talks about at some point finding a mentor, actively seeking a mentor, finding other creative models. And the last thing I'll say about this I'm talking about, a mentor that you can ideally work with face to face or in some, capacity, physical capacity. But there's also, I love that my mentor, one of my mentors, Susan Arrow Rainbow Kennedy, also known as Sark, creativity guru. In many of her books, she talks about paper mentors, people whose work that she loved, that she absorbed, that she, read and engaged with, and she felt like one of the people that she named was Maya Angelou, the amazing writer Maya Angelou. She just absorbed her work for so long that she really felt that Maya Angelou's spirit, her energy helped Sark become the writer that she is. And so she talks about that. She talks about this idea of paper mentors. And I love that, right? Because we might be in situations where it might take us a while to find someone in person. It might take us a while to be able to engage with them. So you might think about who are your paper mentors that you can really, really feel like you can rely on in terms of their books, their wisdom that they've shared. And that's another way to embrace this idea of getting mentored and getting what you need along the path. Hope this is helpful. If you have found value in it, please give me a like. That always helps the algorithms. And please subscribe to the channel. There's weekly content here for you on the topic of affirmations, as well as occasional videos around other things that I love to talk about, which is decluttering, the creative path, creative process. Until next time, be well and stay inspired.